Fury of the Gods, Shazam 2, the future of the DCU. Where are we going with it? Welcome to IJustWatched. I'm Joseph. You knew this. Let's get into it. Spoiler warning, get that out the way. I have thoughts, people, and I want to hear yours. I enjoyed the first one. I actually really like a lot about the first one, so I was hoping this one would be similar. And where it does have similarities, parts of it are enjoyable. I felt like they just went a little too far on the cheese, as in there is way too much cheesiness in this movie. How did each character get older but acts stupendously more childish? Billy, for example, the head of the Shazam family, he's almost 18. I understand the underlying story. I think is a good story. It's a powerful story. He's afraid of losing his new family. It's been about 2 years and he's gonna age out, and he thinks they're gonna kick him out, and he's gonna have to deal with another mom letting him go. You know what I'm saying? Losing the closest thing he's had to a father, the closest thing to brothers and sisters, you know, the closest thing to like peace and a family he's had. He's afraid of losing that, so he's, you know, trying to run this super tight knit, we all Shazam or no one Shazams kind of thing. And that story, I think, could have been really good if it wasn't covered in like this unnecessary cheesiness and then this unnecessary sense of making Billy. So when he's Billy, he acts more adultish. He's a little bit more mature. He has a better understanding of things, which I was like, cool, I like that. But as soon as he Shazams and he's Captain Marvel, and I'm gonna call him Captain Marvel because I'm gonna say Shazam way too many damn times. When he becomes Captain Marvel, he's more childish than before. And I figured after 2 years of them being heroes and doing stuff together, yes, they're kids, so they're gonna mess up, and they have this joke about how they're like the blundering family or something along those lines. I probably messed that up horribly. Taking it just a little bit more serious in the fact that they're, you know, saving, or, you know, they could have done some, if they want to do some funny jokes, I would have done some jokes on the idea of like old school Superman stuff, you know, saving a cat out of a tree, you know, helping an old lady kind of walk across the street, like little things like that would have been funny to me. And it would have been where like the people like them, but overall the media is like, look at the damage they cause, you know, because they saved these people, everyone on this bridge. There's a bridge about to collapse. The scene is kind of neat. You see them save everyone. Their different characteristics shine, and they're like, all right, now one more job. That bridge cannot go down. Cut. The bridge totally collapsed into the water, blah, blah, blah. Like, so that was funny, but then from there it was just downhill. So that really threw me for a loop. That really took me out of it, because I was like, damn, nothing against James Gunn. However, I think he did the biggest misstep when he was like, we're getting rid of Cavill, we're getting rid of Gal, none of that matters, we're moving completely new, it's gonna start over completely. So this movie is a continuation of the original Shazam, and we're gonna still use things from Man of Steel, from Wonder Woman, from BVS. We're still gonna use things from the pre-existing universe, but it doesn't matter to get into this new universe that we're creating from zero. But really, we're not really changing a lot, but we're changing things. That's how this feels. Everything's going down. Gal's no longer in it, but they keep her cameo here, but they took her out of Flashpoint. Cavill's no longer Superman, but they're using everything from Man of Steel. They're using storylines from BVS and all that. So like, if you were really starting over, I think he should have waited until Flashpoint came out. Be the moment. Once Flashpoint comes out, you can move forward however you want. You can really go completely change things and keep what works, because that's what they're attempting to do. Because Momoa is still Aquaman, Levi is still Captain Marvel, Shazam. I can't really say if Gal's Wonder Woman or not, because I feel like they said she wasn't, but she's in here, but then they took her out of Flashpoint. So as of right now, those two are still those characters, right? But Waller's still Waller. That's not her name, but Viola Davis is still Waller. Everything from his Suicide Squad movie is canon, even though Peacemaker's canon. So all those things that are still canon pushing forward. Harley's still canon, you know, like things like that. Those actors and actresses are the same. So why did he feel that he had to, you know, come out of cancel that to change everything, but then not fully start over? And that's what kills this movie, because the cheese is whack. So that takes me out of it from the jump. All right, it's a cheesier, more childish version of the first one, still having some of the good similarities, but whereas the other one had a lot of really good similarities with some of that childish stuff, so you like mixed well and you could, oh, I enjoyed this. This one has that, and then you have moments where they stick to the lore and you see like Cyclops, Harpies, Minotaurs. I was like, ooh, cool, I love this part of the first one, I'm glad they're bringing it here. And then the unicorns are like super feared. I was like, okay, it's kind of neat. And then she gives them Skittles and she goes, taste the rainbow. And I was like, I get it, I would probably have done it. And then they're riding on them into battle, and for whatever reason they decided to lay an extra layer of cheese in this situation and have that little girl scream, taste the rainbow, mother. And I was like, that was unnecessary. The initial one was bad, but it was acceptable. Now you're just pushing it. There's a lot of that in this movie, so it takes away from the good. World building they're trying to do feels like it matters not. You know, it just, so that's really taking it out of this. One of my favorite parts of this movie is the end credit scene where we see Dr. Savant is in his cell. He has a beard. He's like marked all the walls, and he's like, and Mr. Mind shows up and he's having that full conversation with him. And he's like, Dr. Savant's like, cool, well, we're finally getting out of here. I'm excited. It's been, you know, 2 years. I'm tired of being in here. And he's like, what's taking so long? And Mr. Mind's like, I'm a worm, bro. It takes me time to get places, but we're almost there. I just need one more thing. He's like, what? And he just starts to crawl away. And he's like, no. I thought that was hilarious. Dude, Mr. Mind would be cool. Like that, he starts his own like villainy group, and that little smart ass worm is a problem. Things like that were set up in the first, that things that could be interesting to see develop as we continue to go down this road with these characters, again, would have been great if they weren't getting even more convoluting. I want to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. How do you feel about this movie? Did you like it? How do you feel about where they're taking it or where he's going to go with it? I am worried that his Superman movie, which he said wasn't going to be a straight origin, and then said it's going to be an origin, and basically the synopsis of that movie sounds like Man of Steel. How do you feel about it? I'm rooting that I'm wrong. We'll see, and time was going to tell on that one. But I want to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, your opinions. I love hearing from you. But until next time, stay safe, be well, y con mucho amor. Adios.